Hello students, I am Ajay Pratap Singh, Senior Faculty, Narayana Group of Institutions, and today I am going to discuss second shift paper of JEE Mains conducted on 27th. So it was an easy paper as far as physics is concerned. Let's go through the solution of each and every question. And this paper is based on memory. There may be variation with the actual paper. We have taken our best care and we have collected it from our students relying on their memory, and I hope we are fairly close to the actual paper. So let's enjoy the discussion. Here is the first question, and this question is based on photoelectric effect. The question says if the work function of a metal is 6.63 electron volt, then find the threshold frequency for a photoelectric effect. Dear students, it's one of the straightforward questions. So I'll put it in the category of easy question. It is just formula based. Put the value, get the answer, and the appropriate formula is work function will be Planck's constant into threshold frequency. So this is the appropriate expression to be used. So we need to find out threshold frequency, and that will be work function divided by Planck's constant. So when we put the relevant values of work function and Planck's constant, so we get 1.6 into 10 to the power 15 hertz. So second is the right answer for this question. Straight away formula based. Well students, so let's move towards the next question. And you can see this is a question based on units and dimension. And this is one of the most repeated question over last many decades in different competitive exams. And here we just need to apply principle of homogeneity, which says only similar nature quantities can be added and subtracted. It is very clear that the dimension of volume will be same as dimension of B, and A by V square will have same dimension as that of pressure. It is very clear from the given equation. Now what we are supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out dimension of A by B square. So if we make use of these two relations, I get this as pressure. Though it has same dimension as that of pressure, so answer is fourth. Again, my rating will be, it is just a moderate question. As far as classification is concerned, we'll be classifying questions into three categories: easy, moderate, and tough. Right, students? So here we go for the third question, and this is a question which contains two statements, and there are four options given. The statement one is positive zero error is added in measurement. Now this is a wrong statement. All of us know in any kind of measurement, zero error is always subtracted with sign. So positive error is subtracted and negative zero error is added. So first statement is wrong, students. Let's read the second statement, which says defect may occur during manufacturing of measuring instrument. Yes, this is a possibility, although tremendous care is taken while manufacturing measuring instruments, but there may be some inherent manufacturing defect. So there is a possibility. So the right answer will be the second one, that is statement one is wrong, and while statement second is correct. So let's move ahead, and here is the fourth question. We have to find out total kinetic energy of 1 mole of oxygen gas. Now this total kinetic energy, so we know the relevant formula, it's degree of freedom nRT by 2. So F is degree of freedom, N is number of moles. Now here in this case N is 1 and degree of freedom will be 5 because it is oxygen diatomic. So when we make substitution, so this kinetic energy becomes 5 RT by 2, making substitution of the values of R and temperature. Be alert, it is to be substituted in Kelvin. So when we make substitution, we get 6250 joule. So our answer 1 is the correct answer for this question. Again students, it's a straight away formula based question. Overall physics paper was very easy. Let's move towards next question. So we have a current of 200 microampere deflects the coil of moving coil galvanometer through 60 degree. then the current required to cause a deflection through pi by 10 radians. So here the concept or the idea which will be used is very simple, that deflection, so current is proportional to deflection. So that's the situation. So I1 over I2 will be theta 1 over theta 2. We are looking for a deflection of pi by 10 radian. So putting the values over here, I'll get the required current, that is I2 will be I1 theta 2 over theta 1. So when we make substitution, that is, this is 200 microampere, right? Theta 2 we are looking for pi by 10 and theta 1 is 60 degrees, so this is pi by 3. So when we simplify and we get 60 microampere current. Very simple, just put the value, get the answer. So this is the idea, that current or deflection is proportional to current, or current is proportional to deflection in galvanometer. Moving ahead and talking about this question number 6, we have a current configuration and it contains two straight part and two semicircular part having different radii. Radius are given, we have to find out magnetic field at the center. Now here in this arrangement, if you see, the magnetic field at the center due to straight part will be 0, and if I say this is 1 and this is 2, so definitely net magnetic field will be B1 minus B2, because, and it is also given this current divides equally. If I is the current, so it's I by 2, I by 2. It is given in the question that current divides equally. So we want net magnetic field at the center. Again students, so this if you put it, and it will be mu naught I by 2 over 4R1 minus mu naught I by 2 by 4R2. So this is the net magnetic field at the center. So once we simplify, we get 5 into 10 to the power minus 8 Tesla. So when we put the value of R1 and R2 and I is 4 ampere, which is given, so we get this second option. Correct. Again, this is just a moderate type of questions. Take care that magnetic field due to straight part will be 0. Now here in this question, it is given that there exists a uniform electric field of 20 I cap Newton per coulomb. A dipole of dipole moment 15 coulomb meter is placed at an angle of 30 degree with the electric field torque on the dipole. This is straight away a formula based question. We know that torque exerted by electric field on a dipole is P cross E, and as far as magnitude is concerned, P E sine theta. So we make substitution of these values and we get 150 Newton meter, and this is answer is second. Again, it is a straightforward easy question, direct formula based. Put the value, get the answer. If you are able to recall this expression, torque due to external electric field on a dipole placed in it, so it is a easy question. Students, moving further, and yeah, it's a good question. And man holding a rod of mass m as shown in figure, find weight of rod experienced by him. So what we need to do over here is we need to draw the FBD of the rod. So if we draw the FBD of the rod, it will be mg weight of the rod. There will be normal reaction from the ground and there will be a normal force from the man who is holding the rod, and we have to find out N2. This angle is 60 degree. So this is A and this is B. As I want N2, so it makes sense to balance torque about A is equal to 0. If we balance torque about it, it will be torque due to gravity. It will be L by 2 cos theta, which is 60 cos theta, and this will be N2 into L. L is the length of this rod. From here we can simplify, we can get the value of N2, which is mg by 4. So students, I put this question in the category of moderate question. So it is not direct. You have to draw a BD and you have to show forces, and you have to force balance and torque balance. Intelligently, you have to select point A so that N1 doesn't enter into picture. So this is N1, N2. So our answer is second. Alright students, so let's move further. And here is a question from transformer. If the primary side of a transformer is connected with 230 volt, 50 hertz AC supply, and the ratio of number of turns of primary to secondary windings is 10:1, the load resistance at the secondary coil is 46 ohm, then power output of the secondary windings is. Again students, just you need to remember the relation between primary and secondary windings. Primary, sometimes we call it input circuit, and secondary we call it output circuit. So we have relation, that is Vi over Vo is same as Ni over No. Now this is given 10. This is given 10:1. So from here we get the value of Vo, output voltage. We can calculate it over here, and that gives us 23 volt is the output voltage. So we are looking for power output, and that will be from this formula. Resistance is given to us, which is 46 ohm, and when we make calculation it is 11.5 watt. So this is our answer, and this happens to be the fourth option. That's very straightforward. So again, it is a simply formula based question. We are making use of basic relations that we study in transformer. This is input voltage, output voltage, number of turns in input circuit, that is primary circuit, and number of turns in output circuit. Then there is the expression for power. We are looking for power output of secondary windings. Okay students, moving further, it is this question. And we are given a AC circuit, we are given the value of inductance, capacitance, and resistance, and we are also given the voltage and frequency of the applied AC source, and we have to find out the power factor. Now all of us know power factor cos phi. Phi is phase difference between current and voltage, is R over Z. That is, Z is the impedance of the circuit, that is total resistance of the circuit. Now if I look at the values, that is if I calculate XL, which will be omega L, that is 2 pi FL, putting the values I get 10 ohm, right? Similarly, if I calculate XC, capacitive inductance, that is 1 over omega C, that is 1 over 2 pi FC, so that also works out to be 10 ohm. So that means this circuit is in resonance, and this impedance Z, we know that this is XL minus XC square plus R square, and I know that Z will be R. So cos phi is 1. So power factor, that was the value supposed to be calculated, is 1, and our answer will be 3. A simple straightforward question. So we'll find I don't find any challenging question over here. The entire physics paper in the second shift particularly was very easy. Most of the time it was formula based, put the value and get the answer sort of thing. All simple situations. Now again we have a theoretical question where we are given statement 1 and statement 2, and we have to comment about it. Limiting friction depends on surface area. This is a wrong statement. Kinetic friction depends on surface area. So students, here both the statements are false. Whether it is limiting friction or kinetic friction, it is independent of surface area. It is a very common fact when we study about static and kinetic friction. So here our right answer will be both the statements are false. So fourth will be the answer. Moving further, so you can see the questions are very straightforward, very simple theory. And then we have this question. And this is again a simple question from current electricity. There are 3 voltmeters connected as shown in the circuit. V1 and V2 are connected in series, and then they are connected in parallel with V3. So we have to comment and we have to find out the correct relationship. One thing is very simple and very obvious is V3 is equal to V1 plus V2. I can immediately identify. So this is the right answer, that is second. This I have written from simple consideration of series and parallel. V1 plus V2 will make up V3. In parallel, voltage across all elements remains the same. So I need not check other options once I have got the correct option, because here only one option is correct, right? I can save time and I can move further. So moving further, here is a question. Now this is a question based on gate. It's a question from semiconductor physics. Uh, Although it is not part of JEE main syllabus, it is not there in NCERT also, but still it has been asked. It is exclusive OR gate. Normally students miss and avoid exclusive OR gate and exclusive NOR gate. So if I write the Boolean expression, right students, so if I write the Boolean expression for Z, so that will be A bar B, and this is the symbol for exclusive OR gate, and then this will be A dash B. So this is the Boolean expression. Now once I simplify, and let me tell you the definition, when we say A plus B, and I put a circle over here representing the exclusive OR gate, so this will be A B complement plus A complement B. So if I use it over here and I use De Morgan's law, I hope all of you are familiar with the two versions of De Morgan's law. So A B complement is equal to A complement plus B complement, and similarly A plus B complement will be equal to A complement B complement. So these are the two De Morgan's laws, and this is the definition of exclusive OR gate. So once we make use of these two, so I'll come to know that this Z is nothing but A plus B, that it is exclusive OR gate. Now in exclusive OR gate, because this is a very less visited topic by students, so they may find it difficult. So I'll put it in the category of difficult, not covered usually, not part of NCERT. So most of the students, they may find it difficult to handle it. In exclusive OR gate, I get output as true when we have odd number of true input. Please listen my statement carefully. All those who are familiar with exclusive OR gate, they know it. We get true as output when we have odd number of true input. True means 1, it means high, so all of you know this language. False means 0, and this means low. So I can see that it is only second option which satisfies. So that means the values of Z will be, so when we take both values 0 0, I'll get 0. If I take 0 1, now here we have odd number of true input, so this will be 1 1 0 will be 1, again 1 1 will be 0. So this is how we remember simply. In case of exclusive OR gate, we get true as output when we have odd number of true as input. So just to sum up, otherwise we can perform the entire Boolean algebra. You know the simple operation. So basically the simplification of this circuit will require exclusive OR gate definition and De Morgan's law. Well students, I'll put it in the category of a difficult question. Moving further, again we have a theoretical question. Now this question says statement 1 is work done by electrostatic force is 0 if a charge is moving along an equipotential surface. So that's a perfectly valid statement because we know that work done is Q delta V. Now over an equipotential surface, yes, delta V is 0. So the statement 1 is correct. Now, equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to the electric field. So, there is no component of electric field along the surface. So, work done is 0. So, the statement 2 is correct. So, the answer will be fourth one. Both the statements are correct. So, it's a easy question. Moving further, and here is a question we are given something about meter bridge. In meter bridge, an unknown resistance X has a specific resistance S1 given by some expression where R is radius, L is length. If length and radius both are doubled, new specific resistance will be. Students, all of us know that specific resistance is a material property. It is independent of dimensions of the material. So the new specific resistance will remain same and the answer will be first. That is S1. So straight away, simple, easy question. Okay, so moving further, and here is a question from nuclear physics, and we are given a nuclear reaction and I have to find out the Q value. All of us know the definition of Q value is delta mc square. Delta m is the mass defect of the reaction, and we are given m values, and we can see that it will be the first option. Delta m will be, that is, it will be y plus z minus x. Y plus z minus x, that means it is the second option. Simple. Again, formula based. Uh, Again, we have a very simple theoretical question. We know that time period is given by 2 pi by omega, or we can write omega is 2 pi over t. So time period of earth is more than time period of moon. So moon approximately takes 27.2 days. So we all know, and earth, you know, it is around 365 days. So earth takes more time to complete one revolution and moon takes lesser time. So the relationship between their angular velocities will be the opposite one. That is, it will be omega earth lesser than omega moon. Right, students? So the first statement is assertion is there. Angular velocity of moon revolving about earth is more than the angular velocity of earth revolving around the sun. So that's very obvious because we know the relationship between their time period. Time period of moon is less than time period of earth. So angular velocity of moon will be more than angular velocity of earth. So this is a correct statement. So assertion is correct. Let's look at the reason. Time taken by moon to revolve around earth is less than time taken by earth to revolve around the sun. So this is the correct statement and it is the explanation of assertion. So our answer will be both are true and it is the correct explanation. So answer will be 1. Right, students? So moving further, and so we take this question. Yeah, it's a good question. So this I will put it in a category of a difficult question. I cannot call it moderate question. So we have a question. A pendulum is released from angle theta with the vertical as shown if its acceleration at maximum amplitude is same as acceleration at mean position. So we have to find this angle theta. So dear students, so you see that at the extreme position, it will have tangential acceleration only, and that will be g sine theta. And when it is at lowest position, it will have some velocity and it will have centripetal acceleration, which will be v square by L. So as per this question, we are looking for situation g sine theta is equal to v square by L. And this v will be equal to 2gh by L, and this h will be L over 1 minus cos theta. Right, students? So you can see that this is h So when you release the pendulum from extreme positions, by the time it comes to mean position, so loss of potential energy will be converting into kinetic energy. So from there we can write a very simple relationship. mgh will be equal to half mv square, right? So from here you can see that I have already written that v square will be equal to 2gh, and this h will be L1 minus cos theta. So when we make substitution in this expression, this value of, so we get this one, that is second option. So we get theta is equal to 2 tan inverse 1 by 2. So this is what you get when you put into the equation. So this is the equation. So we are using energy conservation here. Also we are using the concepts of circular motion also, and bit of trigonometry and some manipulating steps. So I'll put this question in difficult category, although easy question, but requires little patience and little alertness. So answer is third, students. Moving further, and then we have, and this is a very straightforward question, simply formula based. So the condition, so we are given, that is a sine theta will be equal to n lambda, and it will be n is equal to 1 for, and if theta is small, so a theta will be lambda, and from here we get the angular position of the first minima. That is simple the question. You can answer it mentally also. I have just scribbled few expressions. So the question is, find the angular position of the first minima if the screen is at distance d. So this is the angular position, and that brings us to option A. Easy question. Yeah, going ahead. Again, we have a question. An atom of atomic number Z is having nuclear radius this much, potential at the surface. Students, this is just formula based, and we know it is kq by r. So I just need to substitute the values, and z is the given, that will give us the value of charge. Radius is given, so we can get the potential at the surface, right? So if you do the calculations, that is 9 into 10 to the power 9, and this will be z, that is 50 into e, charge on electron, 10 to the power minus 19, then radius, and then you convert into meter. So 9 into 10 to the power minus 15. So I hope this works out to be 8 into 10 to the power 6 volt. Just formula based. Please take note that Q will be equal to ZE. This is the potential at the surface of nucleus. So our answer will be second. Moving further, students. So we have covered 20 questions which were single correct option type. Now here we are having questions where we have to give the value of x. These are numerical questions, and we are given there is a uniform ring and a uniform solid sphere rolls down same inclined plane by same distance. If the ratio of their translational kinetic energies is 7 by x, then x is. So here we have to write it like this: half mv square change in kinetic energy, right? So I can write this as half m, and this I can write as 2as. Initial velocity is 0. So we are given the ratio of kinetic energies. So it amounts to the point that this ratio of kinetic energy of ring versus this solid sphere will be a ring over a solid sphere. And coming to this, and all of us know that there is a general expression g sine theta 1 plus moment of inertia over mr square for any body rolling down an inclined plane. This is the general expression. So by making use of it, I can put the value of a ring, which will be g sine theta by 2, then I'll be putting for a sphere which will be 5 by 7 g sine theta. This will cancel out and we'll have the ratio 7 by 10. So if I compare, so the value of x will be 10. So that was a question. If you remember this expression, you can write the expression for acceleration of ring and acceleration of solid sphere directly. In exam, we are not supposed to derive this. So I know this is a very common thing, that acceleration of a rolling body on an inclined plane. Okay, so it was just using this very well-known expression. Moving further, students, so we have a question. A bullet is fired into a fixed target. It loses 1/3 of its velocity after traveling 4 centimeter. It penetrates further this much distance before coming to rest. Find P. So again, here this requires use of v square minus u square 2 times. So we can assume, say, v naught is the initial velocity. So it's given that it is losing 1/3. So it will be 2/3 v naught square minus initial v naught square, and that will be 2 minus into, it is already given, penetrates 4 centimeter. So putting in SI units, and from here we get a relationship. So simplifying, we get some 5 by 9 v naught square is equal to twice a over 25, right, students? So this is, say, just one equation, and again we can apply this equation that it has already lost 1/3. So again, if we apply, so we will have 4 v naught square by 9, and that will be equal to 2 into a, and the distance is traveled p into 10 to the power minus 3. So this is our second equation. So from 1 and 2 I can solve and get, I can divide the two equations, and a and v naught will cancel out, give me the value of p as 32. Yeah, so it was, this question was simply using this equation twice. V naught is the initial velocity we have assumed. Let's say a is the retardation. So that's 32. Moving to the next question, and this is the expression for longest wavelength in Paschen series is this one. So we have the expression, so we know it, 1 over lambda will be equal to r, and we are talking about hydrogen atom, so z is 1. So we are looking for longest, that means energy will be minimum, so it will be 1 over 3 square over 4 square. So it will be transition from 4 to 3, the longest wavelength, that is the first member of Paschen series. First member of any series is always having longest wavelength. So if we just simplify, I get the value of x as 7. So because if we simplify, so from here we get this as 144 r over 7. So that's the expression. So 1 by lambda, so we get the value of x as 7. Easy question, straightforward. And moving further, here again we have a question, and it is given that the object is dropped from a certain height from point P. It crosses 2 points A and B in interval of 2 seconds, such that AB is 80 meter. Find the distance AP. Well, students, so if I assume this is point P, this is A, and this is B, it takes 2 seconds, and let us say time taken T. And this also given that this AB is 80 meter. So what I can write, AP as half A T square, and this PB. So or I can write this one, AB. So this AB, which is 80 meter, is half A T plus 2 square minus half A T square. And on simplification gives us T is equal to 3 seconds. So if I put it over here, so I get the value of AP, right? So A here will be equal to G, and if I make substitution, AP will be half 10 over 3 square, so that's 45 meter. So that's the answer. Straight away, simple question from kinematics based on free fall. Then we come to this question number 25, and it is just the formula based question. So using Bernoulli equation, I can write P1 minus P2 will be equal to half rho V2 square minus V1 square, just using the Bernoulli equation. All the values are given, and if we make substitution, we have to find out the V in meter per second. So if you just make substitution, you get 1.21 meter per second after substituting all values. It is just a straightforward formula based question. Put the value, get the answer. You have to be very alert in calculation. Well, students, so we move to the last question of the paper. Uh, Only we could collect 26 number of questions, although there are 30 questions. So here we go. Again, it's a good question. You have to be alert. Intensity of unpolarized light is given I naught. And you know that when it passes through polarized, here intensity will become I naught by 2. It will be half. And once it passes through the second polarizer, here the intensity will be I naught by 2, and that will be cos square theta. And after passing through this polaroid, that intensity IP3 becomes I naught by 2 cos square theta, right? And here you can see that this angle will be, again this will become sine square theta. These are your pass axis, so that we have to be very alert. So once we get IP3 as I naught by 2 cos square theta into sine square theta, so we can manipulate slightly I naught by 2, so this becomes uh, sine 2 theta by 2 square. Obviously for maximum, IP3 sine 2 theta should be 1. That implies 2 theta should be 90, and that gives us theta should be 45 degree. So this is the answer. So this again simply using the very famous law, that is intensity when this passing axis are rotated is something like this. After passing through polarizer is like I naught cos square theta, right? This is what we have used, where theta is the angle between the pass axis. In second case, the pass axis is over here, so we will be considering this angle. So once we consider this angle, I mean this angle, so that will be 90 minus theta. That's why this becomes sine square theta. So that's a straightforward application. Thank you, students. All the best and God bless you. I hope you find it a fun, and physics paper was a easy cakewalk for most of the students, and the feedback we have received all over the country. Thank you, students. All the best.